All right, let's look at this one. Okay. All right, so this is company, the last one we did was the company A. This is the salary for company B. So we're gonna start with this one. We're gonna practice, okay? Let's practice the steps. We're gonna do all 6 steps. And then I will ask you to do one table. The one that I will ask you to turn into me today, or you don't get to finish during class today, will be the next class, and you make sure that you email it to me or upload that in Schoology. But most likely email it to me, okay? Okay, so what we're gonna do, if this is a table given to you, this one is different numbers. So step number 1, can someone tell me what is step number 1 when we calculate standard deviation? What's step 1? What do I do first? Find the mean, the average. That is correct. Okay. So to find the mean, so for this one, I have not done this problem ahead of time because I want to show you how long it takes for you to do it. And I'm going to do this along with you. Okay. So I'm going to ask you, if you have a calculator, you can take it out and try to punch in the number instead of, I would do the number for sure, but if you have it, it'd be nice if you have that calculator and you do along with me. Then you're like, okay, I got this number. No, I don't get that number. Miss Lynn, what you do? Because I got a completely different number. So that way you can check in to see if you got it or you don't get it, okay? So the average, how we find the average, we add all the numbers together. So I'm going to take 40 plus 23 plus 50. Whoops, I missed 41 plus 41 plus 50 plus 49 plus 32 plus 41 again plus 29 plus 52 plus 58. Okay, so I got 415, and then there are 10 numbers. I'm taking 415 divided by 10, which give me 41.5. So that is the average. I got 41.5. If you got something else, let me know. I may make a mistake, as you know, I do that all the time. So that is my average, 41.5. So it's the same as the other one. Is this always 41.5? No, it depends on the number given to you. But this one has happened to be the same as the last company. Okay, so 41.5, that's the average. Another thing that I want you to think about is the total, is how many numbers given to you. In this case, if you count, there are 10 of them. So that's what I need to write down. Okay, question for me on step 1. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Step 2, we will get to step 2. Who remember what should I do for step 2? What do I do for step 2? If you have your notes in front of you, you can use it. If not, we can go back. But after I find the mean, what do? I will subtract from, I will take the salary and subtract the mean. Okay, that's good. So that's step 2. I'm taking the x values minus the mean. Perfect. Okay, what I will ask you to do is we're going to do step 2 and 3 together. That way it saves me time from retype the number. So step 3 is I'm going to square the difference. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to take 40 minus 41.5, and that would give me negative 1.5. I would do steps 2 and 3 together, because when I subtract, right, I'm taking 40 minus 41.5, I will have a difference, and I can just square it right away. So that way I don't have to worry about retype it later. So that's the trick that I would use. I do step 2 and 3 the same times. So what do I mean by that? I'm going to take the difference, what I just got, 1.5. I'm going to square it. That gives me 2.25. Okay, let's do the next one. Continue. I'm doing the same thing. So I'm going to start again. 23. How do I get, this is 23. So 23 minus the average, which is 41.5. That would give me 23 minus 41.5. That gives me negative 18.5. Okay, remember, step 2 and 3 together. So I'm going to go ahead and square it. That would give me 342.25. And I will do the same thing for the rest of the numbers. So question for me for these 2 steps, and that's what we covered last Friday. Okay, so basically that's what I would do for all of the values. I'm taking the number minus the mean and then square it. So we okay? We good with that? Can I just, I'm going to keep it silent. I'm just going to write down the numbers, okay? If that's okay with you. Instead of me keep read it out loud. So you can copy this down if you have that paper. You copy down on Pear when I end the lesson, it will email you the work. It will email you the notes that you took. Okay. This one, 50 minus 41. That would give me 8.5, and then I'm going to square it. Let's see what that is. All right, instead of me write out 49 minus 41.5, what I would do is I'm just going to write down the difference, okay? If that's okay with you. Instead of show the distraction, I'm just going to write all the number that I have, okay? So by minus 47. And then on the other side is just square, so I can just show right here. If I square the number, that is what I got. Okay, so I'm just going to write out the number instead of show you the step. Okay, I'm going to pause for you to take a moment to look at the numbers, look at the steps. You can copy this down, and then you can ask me questions. Let's resume. So those are the 3 steps that we covered on last Friday. And I think for those who was here, it makes sense for you, and it's a little bit faster for you. All right, so step 4. Step 4 is for us to find the total. Okay, this is the total right here. I'm going to add all of these numbers together. I will add them. Okay, so I'm going to take 2.25 plus 342.25 plus all of that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add all of those numbers in column 3. Okay, So bear with me, it will take me a while. 2.25, 342.25 plus 0.25. There's a point right here, okay? Plus 72.25 plus 56.25, 90.25. Plus 0.25 plus 156.25, 110.25 plus 272.25. Okay, so the total that I got in this one is 1,102.5. If you got a different number, let me know. I can check. I may add it wrong, but I think that's what I got. Okay, so that's step number 4. Question for me in step 4. What I just did, how did I get that number? All right, we're gonna move on to step 5. What I do with step 5 is I'm gonna take that total, 1,102.5. What should I divide by? Anyone remember? By 10, right, because I have 10 numbers total, so I divide by 10. Is this always 10? No, it depends on the problem. I may have 20, I may have 100, so that's what I will divide. So if I divide by 10, get me 110.25. Cool. Step 6, last one. You remember what I do for the last steps? Once I divide, now the last step, what do I do with the number? So think about this, everything you do, you're gonna use that number for the next steps, right? You did step 1, you took the mean, then you use the mean in step 2. Then you get the difference in step 2, then you use that difference to take your square. And then you use that square to find the sum, right? So we always use that number from the first step to the next. Yes, so we will take the square root of whatever we found in step 6. I'm sorry, in step 5. Yes, square root. Thank you, Emily. So square root of 110.25. Okay. It's not going to give you a nice number. But that's okay. Square root of 110.25. Oh, it's actually a nice number in this case, 10.5. So this is my standard deviation. We'll take a look at the graph and we're gonna interpret what does the standard deviation mean? If you are one standard deviation above the mean or one standard deviation below the mean, what does that mean when we look at the graph and what is that saying in real life? We talk about what does this number represent later. But right now, these are the steps and this is what we should do to calculate this. Questions for me on these 6 steps? Okay. I will, once I end this one, if you took notes in here, go ahead and take pictures. Do you still need to copy this down? Are we good? Can I move to the next slide or you still copy? Can you please let me know, like an icon, like a thumbs up, or wait? Okay.